Hello, welcome in everybody. It's Laura from Tenacious, Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights, and we're going to talk about the weekend vibes. What are we up against when it comes to these weekend energies? And so the biggest energy we're up against this weekend is the new moon in Sagittarius, and it is happening on December the 1st, early in the morning, my local time. I think at like 1:21 a.m. And so let's talk about this Sagittarius energy, because this new moon is going to be at 9 degrees. Actually, it's going to be at 9 degrees 32, which is this energy of the Hermit and the Six of Wands. And so when I think of Sagittarius energy, I think of the Archer. I actually kept hearing that song, Archer, by Taylor Swift, channeling these new moon energies. And so how can we embody all of this Sagittarian energy, right? What does Sagittarius represent? It represents optimistic energies, adventurous energies, honest, right? A Sag usually is very bluntly honest. You lie to a Sag and you're done for. Usually, Sagittariuses are very likely going to be a little bit outspoken. I've got 2 Sagittarius daughters, and it's a very independent energy. So how can you positively incorporate all of these Sagittarius qualities in your life? Because bottom line is this moon is going to be hitting you in one specific area of your birth chart, in one specific house. So that's the house that I feel you are being called to plant a new seed in. If you've never pulled a transit chart and you'd like to pull a transit chart, hit me up. I do transit chart readings. You can check out the links below. But basically, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It's all about expansion. It's all about gaining confidence. It's all about gaining that broader philosophical perspective. That's what Sagittarius is all about, right? It's all about transcending the limitations, transcending all of the mundane details of our day-to-day life, pretty much. And so this really is revealing a new sense of hope, I feel, a new sense of faith. And a brand new vision is really what this energy, I feel, is bringing in. So Sagittarius is all about think big. You're going to want to think big because this new moon is all about setting that stage for reaping the rewards of maybe being brave, right? Expanding beyond some limitations, because this moon is going to be supported by Mars in Leo. And Mars is going to be going retrograde next week on December the 6th. And so this is the perfect new moon to set those intentions, because this trine with Mars in Leo is really supporting this energy and a newfound sense of motivation. And so we're going to plant the seed, and we might have to backtrack when Mars goes retrograde in Leo. And I'm going to post a whole other video on Mars retrograde and how this is going to be beneficial, especially for the Twin Flame Collective. So stay tuned for that. I've got big plans for the channel. So I'm planting those seeds as well this weekend. And so we got to remember, though, there's going to be some blocks that we're going to have to face, because this moon is going to be square Saturn in Pisces, and that's indicating a lot of blocks. When I think of a square aspect, I think somebody here needs to break out of the box. And so we also have Jupiter forming a trine to Lilith. So Gemini and Libra energy also supporting this new moon when it comes to planting these seeds. So basically, this is an exceptionally lucky time, and we're kind of here to test the boundaries. So basically, what others weren't ready to hear from you in the past, they're ready to receive the message now. So this is all about planting the seed of authenticity, planting the seed of showing your true self and your true beliefs when it comes to spirituality. And so what I kept hearing was run wild, buck wild. And so there might be some type of breakthrough this weekend when it comes to the biggest limitations that you've been up against lately. But it really was this energy of the Phoenix rising. It really was. And so how can you bring a sense of harmony, empowerment, and creative growth into whatever seed it is that you're planting this weekend? Let's jump in a little bit further with the cards. So I feel we're going to use, I'm very itchy on the nose right now. I've actually been fighting a cold that's trying to come in. So bear with me if my throat needs to be cleared. I think I'm winning the fight here. Okay. So we're going to jump in with the Work Your Light Oracle cards. I was drawn to use this deck. I've had this deck, oh gosh, like 5.5 years now. I used it quite a bit at the beginning of my journey, and I was really drawn to this deck today. So let's see what messages need to come through. I love it. Share your voice, come out of the cave, right? And so when you think of that 9 degree, that's the Hermit energy. So basically, mutable signs are going to be most affected. But this is about coming out of that Hermit's cave, coming out of that spiritual closet, coming out of the cave, and to find your voice, find your self-expression. Don't be afraid of persecution, right? And so a lot of us light workers, we were persecuted in a past life. I was going to say a last life when it comes to our creative expression. And then on the bottom of the deck, on the other half of the cut, we get the energy of play. So how can you come out and play with your inner child? We can't be too serious, right? Sagittarius isn't really that serious of a archetypal energy. I feel there could be codes being activated connected to ancient Egypt. But this is all about going out, having some fun, play, bring out that inner child, and share that voice this new moon this weekend. So let's get a few of these Work Your Light Oracle card messages out, and let's see where these energies are going to take us today. What do we got for a weekend check-in for the collective? Remember, guys, tarot, oracle cards, it's all about guidance. It's all about self-empowerment. The cards, I'm not here to tell you what to do. The cards aren't here to tell you what to do, but basically, hopefully this reading will maybe spark something new when it comes to a thought process. It might initiate you stepping into your power, because basically we can all create the life that we truly want. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do feel free to subscribe. We got 4 cards that kind of jumped up and peaked, so let's see what they are. Imrama, which is asking you to really question where you're being called to journey to. So there's like this inner niggling, this inner calling that's saying, come hither under this new moon. Oh yeah, we go from that, where are you being called to journey to? From there to answer the call. And so many are called, not everybody steps up to the task at hand. And so what is your soul calling you to do? Deep down inside, your soul knows when it's time to leave a job that isn't working, when it's time to leave a relationship that's spiraling in circles, and it's the same fight over and over again. Your soul knows deep down inside when it's time to walk away and when it's time to take action towards something. And so where do you need to establish healthy boundaries? Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Because I know this is a deep energy of going within. That Hermit energy attached to this new moon with the 6 of Wands is saying victory is in your hands. Don't play into this tugging energy. I feel you might be feeling tugged in all kinds of different directions. But this is about saying, hey, I'm going to treat my space as sacred, and I'm all done dimming my light to fit in, right? Sagittarius is saying, don't dim to fit in. Sagittarius is not afraid to break the rules. It's not afraid to expand beyond limitations. And so if you're dimming your light, how are you dimming your light? Maybe it's because you need to instill better boundaries. What do we get on the bottom of the deck? We get this awakening card. And so I feel almost like a 4 of Swords quality to this card based on the imagery, right? And so the 4 of Swords usually is a person laying down on top of what appears to be almost like a coffin with 3 swords pointing down at them, and they're sleeping on the Ace of Swords. And so the pathway to awakening is suffering. Unfortunately, it really is. But I felt it yesterday. I felt those cellular DNA energetic upgrades. And so when we go through this awakening process and we alchemize this new cellular activation within our light body, then we can fully ground in a new way of being and a new way of living. And so there is something integrating when it comes to your soul calling, your soul path. And this really is about shining that light very, very brightly. So where are you called to? Where is that tugging energy asking you to go? Ask yourself that, because you and only you can answer that call. And if you've got people kind of tugging on you, trying to pull you back or distract you, because as we level up, distractions will be very, very loud on the journey. You need to say, hey, I've learned that lesson. I'm going to put those boundaries up, and I'm all done dimming my light. And so light workers are here to shine that light brightly. And we are under the dark moon, the balsamic moon, when it comes to this new moon in Sagittarius. But with this trine playing out between Jupiter and Lilith, there's huge potential to test those boundaries, right? So let's get a few more messages with the Spiritual Journey Oracle cards, and then we're going to go further with the tarot. So look at that. Incoming messages. That's the first thing that I thought of under this new moon, was an abundance of downloads from above. And so I feel there's going to be significant, important downloads and messages from your higher self that you might not be expecting. I heard telepathy. And so you might be coming into this connection of telepathy with your higher guides, the archangels. So really listen, because these energies are getting quite intense. And if you do need to establish boundaries or walk away from a situation that really is like a repeat cycle, it's kind of time to bring it to the surface and address these issues once and for all. So let's get a few more of these messages out. What do we got coming in this weekend? How do we got to break these limitations? How do we go towards this calling? What is this calling? What is this answering the call energy? What do we got? Healer. Answering the call of the gifted healer. And so I know, although the moon is in Sagittarius, I feel very prominent Virgo energy at play. The Virgo Pisces axis likely will be in some type of square energy to Sagittarius in your birth chart, depending on the degree placements. But this is the activation of the gifted healers in the collective, I feel. And so we all have the ability to be a healer. We all can choose to walk the healing path and embody compassion and go towards shining that light. So ask yourself, how can I heal through maybe words? My thoughts, how can I bring those thoughts into action? Touch. So maybe this is the new moon for you to explore some healing work. So where do we need to establish better boundaries here? Oh, we got to break the chains of addiction. We got to break the chains of codependency. And so this is the precipice where we begin to choose freedom. And so breaking the chains of addiction. Addictions come in many forms, right? We can get addicted to people. We can be addicted to shopping. We can be addicted to drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, you name it. Anything that becomes in excess is definitely an addiction that needs to be looked at, because addictions do cause restrictions and limitations. But there could be this need to break the chains of maybe a toxic job or relationship. But basically, freedom is a choice, right? And so somebody might be called to break the chains of some type of addiction or restriction. And yeah, it's going to cause some major life changes ahead. And let's face it, chaos and change is usually going to be a constant, right? Because chaos and change opens up the doorway for expansion. And so whatever is going on this weekend, whatever shape this new moon takes for you in your own personal journey, this change is to be considered as a gift, right? Sometimes we get gifts and sometimes we get a box of darkness, but to open up that box of darkness is to shine the light inside, to break those chains of what is stopping you from evolving on the spiritual path. And so your authentic voice is needed. Your truth is needed. And so maybe that's why I was clearing a little bit of phlegm in my throat, clearing that throat chakra. And so it was interesting. I did a reading earlier this week, and I talked about like the fusion of the lower chakras and how most of the collective, we operate from 3D and below. And so the root chakra would be the first dimension, the sacral chakra, the second dimension. The solar plexus would be considered the third dimension. And that's where most of society resides, is in that third dimension of power and control, right? And that's what Pluto and Capricorn was all about for the last 15 years, was this Pluto and control, Pluto power and control. Now with Pluto shifting into Aquarius, we're kind of breaking the chains of those Plutonian Capricornian themes, and we're moving into air. And so we're moving into the age of truth, the age of authenticity. Aquarius is a very unique, out of the box energy. It's a very just a very unique embodiment, Aquarius, right? And so when we remove the blocks in our throat, then we can receive the abundance of downloads from the higher chakras. And so what fuses all of these energies together is the heart, right? The heart is the gateway receptor of all of this spiritual truth. And so this weekend, I feel, is the manifestation of a massive global awakening, is really what it feels like. And so you're joining others as part of this massive global awakening. And so this is an expansion of consciousness. This is like a process, I feel, of soul retrieval when it comes to your true soul's identity, maybe even coming into some past life memories. But this is what we have attracted into our reality, I feel, as a collective. And so be mindful of your thoughts, because our thoughts do create our physical reality, along with our emotions and the actions that we choose to take daily. And so spend some time alone in the energies this weekend. So a double confirmation of awakening. So what is this don't dim to fit in all about? What is that all about? Let's see if we can get more in depth with that energy. Don't dim to fit in. Where are you dimming your light? What needs to be addressed when it comes to dimming the light? Any other messages on that? Oh, telepathy. And so I feel, yeah, you just got to shine that light, right? I'm hearing that song, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And so imagine yourself surrounded by this healing light, because I do feel if you're dimming your light, if you're trying to stuff down your gifts because you're afraid of sharing that truth, you're afraid of persecution, you are being called to love yourself unconditionally. And in order to truly embody self-love, we have to speak our truth. We have to own our truth. We have to run wild with our truth. And so be mindful of criticism. If somebody is criticizing you because you're speaking your truth and you're shining your light, that's what they need to heal, right? Because the bringers of the light shine a light on all of these unhealed wounds and aspects in other people. And that's not really an easy thing to reflect upon, right? And so if you find yourself overly critical of yourself, then there's a deep-seated wound there that you need to look at, because basically when we love ourselves, we promote that energy of being able to receive healthy reciprocal love from others within relationships. And so you might be connected telepathically with your guides. It could be a loved one, a crossed over loved one. It could be a twin soul. It could be your higher self telepathically connecting with you. But this is about transmitting some type of truth. And I feel this is the moment where we are being asked to share that expansive truth with others. And so we all come into sacred knowledge, esoteric knowledge that we attain, whether it's through our life experiences or this awakening process. And the guides are saying, share that, reach out and share that, because others can benefit from what you've learned on the awakening journey. And so you might find yourself bumping into a catalyst this weekend. Someone or something might challenge you and redirect you and awaken you so you can refocus these energies. And so I think it's going to get intense, guys. It's going to get intense. And so we're going towards spiritual places that we've never been before. So you might find yourself traversing multiple realities this weekend as part of this rejuvenation. And so face your fears. Sagittarius is usually a very fearless sign, right? And sometimes we get hunted and sometimes we're the hunter. But release that fear. There's some type of an illusion, I feel, being shattered under this new moon. And so release expectation, because we are going towards living consciously. And so I think a big decision is going to have to be made this week. That's what it feels like. A big decision is going to have to be made. And so when we awaken, we can't just let life keep happening to us, right? We come to a deeper understanding of like, hey, this is happening for me to learn something, to make a better choice, to go down a different path that's going to benefit me and the people that I'm connected with, right? That's what living consciously is all about. So if you've got a challenge to face this weekend, face it head on. We can't run and we can't hide from these challenges, because these challenges are going to creep up in another energy, in another time and space. We can't run from ourselves. And so I feel we're all being tested right now when it comes to our philosophical and spiritual beliefs. So stay strong, guys. Stay strong, okay? Let's go a little bit deeper. I don't know. I'm torn. And I'm hearing that song by Natalie Imbruglia, Torn. And I think I had that conversation with somebody yesterday on the phone. Okay. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm feeling the unfolding path tarot. I was going to use the mystical moments, but let's do the unfolding path. I love it. Oh, I knew this was the right one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you ready for this, guys? We get the death card. Oh, Scorpio energy. It's a 13 card. But through the death, we rise like the ashes. And there is that Ace of Wands. And so massive creative potential. It's like a gift from the divine. And so death. Death could mean the death of a loved one. I hate to say that, but it is the energy of death. It could mean profound personal transformation. It could represent an ego death. Definitely something is coming to an end, and death is painful, right? Death is a process of grieving, but this is leading to massive creative potential. And so all is not lost, right? Death is really not the end. It's merely just a transition from one form to another. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You could be a Scorpio, but there's that Ace of Wands. There's that Sagittarius energy. And so we got to remember too, we moved from Scorpio to Sagittarius. So that's also another energy connected to that. All right, we got some out. Let's see what we got. We get the Strength card, Leo, and the King of Wands in reversed. I heard Leo King. Leo King. Okay. And so somebody here, I feel, is needing to evaluate a depleting situation. And so the Strength card with the King of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands in reverse, I do feel Leo. If we look on the card, we see the lions. He's sitting on a throne with lions on either side. The King of Wands in reverse, though, is usually very controlling, very possessive, very manipulative. This could be somebody that, you know, wants to be in charge, wants to control people. There could be anger here. There could be some sacred rage. And I just feel this energy with the Strength card of something coming back around, past memories being triggered. There could be a deep-seated inner masculine wound, or a masculine wound that needs to be transformed and healed. And we get the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And so I do feel somebody is blocked from taking action, blocked from bringing forward some type of communication to a soulmate. Now we get the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Third party blocks is what I heard. And so the Three of Cups to the Three of Swords in reversed. So there's a need to heal some type of third-party block, I feel. There is some type of imbalance here with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And so it kind of looks like there could be a mismatched pair here too. But the King and Queen of Wands are visionary leaders. And I feel somebody here has kind of allowed their ego to keep them in a wounded masculine state. What I just heard was the wounded ego. And somebody here is definitely needing to overcome challenges and face some challenges. And so this Seven of Wands is a little bit different. We see the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we got somebody holding those Two of Wands. And so this masculine energy that I feel is wounded, angry, lashing out. The Knight of Swords can be pretty brash, pretty blunt. He looks like a little bit sneaky. He's got a little bit of a sneaky, sly look on his face. You're not going to see this coming, is what it feels like. But we do have a masculine here, a wounded masculine at the crossroads, right? And so the Five of Wands is challenges, and maybe there's some limitations and boundaries here that need to be broken through. But there's a big decision here. It's like the crossroads. And so on the other side of that decision is a Queen of Wands. And so we've got a Queen of Wands here sitting pretty. She's upright. She's shining that light brightly. Could be another Leo. It doesn't have to be, but the fire energy is loud. And I do feel the block is connected to some type of third party. Could be a social group. Could be a group of friends. Could be a bunch of catty women gossiping. It doesn't have to be. But people are talking about this is what it feels like. So let's go a little bit further. And what is this all about? Because I do feel a soulmate connection and some type of separation. let's go further. Let's ask about this Queen of Wands. What is this Queen of Wands thinking? What is she saying? Okay, she's thinking, man, I really got to heal some self-worth issues is what I think she's thinking about. So clarifying the Queen of Wands upright is the Queen of Coins in reversed to the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And so what I feel here is we've got a feminine that has probably already healed her self-worth issues, right? And so there could be a flipping of the scales. The Queen of Wands is very magnetically attractive, right? Who doesn't want the Queen of Wands? She's bright, she's brilliant, she shines that light, she's magnetically attractive. And I feel maybe there's a queen here feeling a little bit woo-woo, a little bit ungrounded. But I do feel there could be a challenge. Maybe this queen has blocked communication with this King of Wands in reverse. There is like blocked communication. The Queen of Wands is holding that Ace of Wands, and we got the Eight of Wands behind her, which to me is saying, I'm blocking you. I'm not going to invest in you anymore. I'm in the light, honey. I'm not going back to the dark side is what it feels like. And so I just feel we've got a queen here. I'm not giving you time. I'm not giving you energy. I'm just going to keep shining my light. I'm going to do my own thing. So what is going on between these two this weekend? What is going on here? The Devil reversed. Breaking the chains of some type of codependency, some type of toxic cycle. I just feel, oh yeah, wow. Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Seven of Cups. And looky here, guys. We got a Divine Masculine rising. So we got an Emperor rising. And so I do feel we've got a masculine here. I think a global massive awakening connected to Divine Masculine collective. And this is a higher power saying, hey, it's time to answer that call, right? The divine is saying, you got to answer the call. It's time to break these chains. It's time to break the chains of addictions, right? And that's just clarifying the liberation card, breaking the chains of addictions. Could be dealing with a Capricorn or a Taurus. It doesn't have to be. But somebody has been chained to a toxic cycle, whether it's an addiction, a relationship, a job, materialism and greed. And I do feel there is like this download coming in, an abundance of downloads. There is this energy of like disillusionment, confusion, illusion, and then we've got a masculine rising to the occasion. And so look at all of the energy around the crown. And so I feel crown chakra activation connected to the masculine collective. And below the Emperor, we do have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And so it's time. It's time to break free from these mental imprisonments, right? From these old outdated cycles and beliefs. So the Devil reversed to the Eight of Swords reversed. Both of these represent a toxic cycle, a toxic mindset, an old belief, and breaking free from the cages that we put ourselves in, breaking free from these self-imposed prisons. And then we get the Wheel of Fortune. And so something is very fated going on this weekend. The Wheel of Fortune. And so I think the cards are going to land where they land, all right? And the divine and fate is kind of in control right now. So where are we going with this masculine energy? Two kind of peaked. Let's see. Oh, we're going back to the start. Going back to the start. We get the World reversed to the Ace of Cups in reverse. And so I think there's going to be an outpouring of emotions. There's going to be a massive heart chakra activation going on this weekend. And so the Ace of Cups in reversed is a purge in order to be open to receiving this new divine love. And so we get a dove. Now I'm hearing your spirit is like a dove. And so spiritual purification is what this energy is bringing forward. And so we got all of the fixed signs on the world. And so this is a negative, repetitive cycle that is intensifying, that needs to be addressed. Somebody's got to go back to the start, back to the scene of the crime in order to close out a cycle. And I think somebody is battered and bruised. There is somebody here that maybe has been through almost like a war zone. It's like returning home after war is what this feels like. And so the Five of Swords on this card is saying, hey, I've defeated the inner beast. I've defeated that inner beast within, and I'm removing these blocks. And so the blocks that need to be removed is, I feel, going into the darkness. So the High Priestess in reverse is saying secrets revealed. And these secrets revealed are going to show us what it is we need to invest in. So from the Eight of Pentacles to the Two of Cups. And so there is some type of union, some type of spiritual connection here. It could be two women. You see two women on the cards. It doesn't have to be. And there's that Hermit reversed. And so this is saying, hey, come out of that closet, guys. Where did that closet card go? Come out of the closet. Come out of that spiritual closet. Share the wisdom that you've learned, because this is connected to legacy, right? And so a huge shift in perception, in perspective, with the Ten of Coins reversed to the Hanged Man reverse, Pisces energy, when it comes to family legacy, right? And so we're getting to the apex here. And so what kind of future, what kind of legacy do you want to leave your family, your children, right? And so gaining that whole new perspective. We don't have to do things like we've always done them, because that's how our parents did them. And so we kind of got to go back. We got to go back. We got to plant a seed. We've got to course correct and bring justice into a situation. And so get ready to lay down a heavy burden this weekend. We can't keep bringing this baggage with us into the next cycle. And so now is the time to release this heaviness. So what are we closing this off with? We're going to get a crystal stone deck message. Okay. Let's get a crystal stone deck message. What are we going to close this reading off with today? What is the healing message today? What crystal should we work with in these energies? What do you want for us to know, Spirit? What crystal message do we need? Okay, I've got 4 cards out. Very much energy connected to the sacral, and then scolocite would be the higher chakras. And so right now, collectively, we are working on manifesting our biggest masterpiece. We're diving into our dreams. We're getting into our depth, and we're learning to go with our gut. So we get carnelian, garnet, scolocite, and citrine. And so you might want to work with some of these stones this weekend. But this is about really getting acquainted with your fear. Fear is an illusion, guys. Greet that fear. Say, hello, fear, my old friend. And work through the fear, because there's something that I feel two soulmates here have to do together, work to do together. And I feel there's a masculine here that is getting an injection of passion and confidence to go forward. And I felt a little ping near my inner pelvis, so sacral chakra. But this is about finding your creative drive. If you've been sleeping on your potential, get ready for a major wake-up call, because we got this, right? We got this as a collective. And so things are getting real is what this feels like. And we could have a masculine here up all night worrying about the outcome. And worrying is never going to change the outcome. But somebody here is learning to be brave. They're going to have to be brave. They're going to have to penetrate through these blockages is what it feels like. And movement. I feel movement, movement, movement. And so somebody is being called to set a new intention, to go towards greatness, because let me tell you, greatness is out there for all of us to get a hold of, but we got to go after it. We got to choose to go after it, right? It isn't just going to fall into our laps. But I feel we got to face that inner beast, right? And when we do that, we can really start creating the life of our dreams today, right now. So start this weekend, get your grind on, because it's really time to manifest your best life. And that's what I got for a weekend check-in, guys. I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you want to go further with a personal reading with me, check it out down below. Also, don't forget to check out the membership side of the channel, because I am starting a book club January 1st for the channel members, on top of the every Thursday membership live, pulling into all 12 zodiacs. So if you want to get in on that book club, it's going to be a place of growth, expansion. Check it out. I'm thinking about adding tiers to the membership too, like an Astrology 101 tier, a Tarot 101 tier, for tips for reading your birth chart, mastering your birth chart. So just pay attention to what's going on the membership side. There's lots of big things coming in for next year. I'm really excited for that. So hit me up. I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thanks.